But if I try to hit him, well, he is one-shot. It's probably like 5 million damage. Jeez. Probably first damage is not crit, but when we crit, well, he's out. One shot, oh my goodness. This is probably you, because you just entered the end game and you got no gear, since economy is doomed already. Well, what damage you may expect from this character against fully upgraded tier 15 bosses? Just look over here. Okay, going in with no gear. Let's see what we can do, and that's the damage. And damage number 2 million. Oh my goodness. Can we basically one-shot him? Probably like 2 millions of damage. And that's without any gear. Oh my goodness, it's so good. But first of all, we need to find out how to play this build. Yes, it's amazing, and you can guess how further we can take this build if we get a little bit of gear. But how it works? Yesterday I found this video in my recommendations from Isfu PoE, and he showed that he got no gear and he fighting Arbiter. The concept of the build is basically the same as in my Comet Machine Gun Sorceress. Yeah, we just need to put ice walls and then destroy them with something. In my example it's comets, but here we use Monk. And yes, it's possible to defeat Arbiter with Monk without gear, because Monk got Hollow Palm technique. Still, we're not trying to challenge ourselves, and we will push this build with quarter stuff for ultimate damage. And his way of dealing with problems is pretty simple. So normally Arbiter have loads of resistances to every damage type beside chaos damage. That's why Hand of Chayula with Withering Touch or Withering Curse, whatever the name is, will make his resistance negative. So chaos damage against Arbiter is just too OP. He will take 45% more damage right now. Then we create ice walls and destroy it with Gathering Storm. Most importantly, if you release Gathering Storm exactly at this moment, we will hit perfect timing. And perfect timing on this skill will convert into 1700 damage at skill gem level 28. And that's just a lot. Basically it's double damage of normal Gathering Storm, and we will increase it even more with support gems. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, and even without gear, this Chayula Monk can unleash like 260 damage, but it scales up with shock and other stuff, and actually he hits for like 400 damage, and eventually he crits for 1 million of damage. Yep, millions of damage without gear. I will leave this video in description if you want to check. But now let's see what's in our build. So, technically it's Frost Wall and Gathering Storm. That's like most important stuff. That helps us deal versus bosses. And to fully utilize this strategy, you need to understand how skills work. First of all, we create a wall of ice crystals. With the first wall, it looks like this, so that's ice crystals, and you can destroy them. It's nice to know that skills which consume freeze will instantly shatter these crystals, and they will deal more damage in larger area. That's actually pretty cool, because this interaction is not utilized by this build, but actually we can utilize this a lot when we try to max this build. Since after New Year, my idea is to start Monk in a series which called Fresh Start in Dead Economy. I think it's pretty fun, so if you want to see Fresh Start in Dead Economy, basically how to approach the game, the league when you're starting late, make sure to leave a comment and drop a like for this video, that you really want to see it. But anyway, let's get back to Frost Wall. Ice crystals doing damage basically when they shattered, and they will deal damage. Damage may not look like a big damage number, but it actually creates multiple ice crystals, so every ice crystal will deal this amount of damage, and when there's multiple crystals, well, there's loads of damage. Also, it's nice to know that crystals will have 10,000 maximum life, so we need to deal like 10,000 damage to destroy them. Here's the fun part. I tried to find this again in the patch notes, but the only thing I found is changes to Frozen Locus. So I can't find it right now, but there's definitely a line that says that right now every skill with ice crystals will actually scale from crystal life. So technically the more life your crystals have, well, the more damage they will actually inflict, more than just basic cold damage, since this cold damage is just damage of Frost Wall, not ice crystals. And since our main damage source is ice crystals, which is shattered, we will add Fortress Support Gem. Yep, it will lower damage of the skill, but it will create these crystals in a circle, which will give us ability to basically surround boss with these crystals and then destroy them, instantly shattering and dealing loads of damage. Of course, having spell cascade also help. Again, spell will deal less damage, but we don't care about damage of the spell itself, we care about creating loads of crystals in a single line and then destroying them instantly. And also, he using Glacier, which will double the life of ice crystals. I think it works really nicely because again, there should be somewhere a line that says that more life of crystals, more damage we will have. And then he finishes with concentrated area for more area of damage and also with cooldown recovery, so we will have faster build up of these walls basically. So this skill is pretty easy, straightforward and basically don't need any further explanations. But Gathering Storm is really interesting ability, so let's talk about Gathering Storm. Its area of effect melee, lightning, duration, channeling, travel skill, so lots of text. Basically, you moving backwards a little bit, channeling for a little bit, and then there will be a perfect timing window. If you release at the perfect timing, you will perform lightning assisted dash that releases shock waves from enemies. So, perfect dash not only will double our attack damage if we miss perfect window, but eventually deals 1700% of your attack damage, which is just too good. But also it's releasing shock waves, and shock waves dealing extra damage. And it's just nice extra lightning damage on top, why not? So when you're using Gathering Storm, it's nice to actually practice it somewhere in your hideout, on open map, and just learn this perfect timing window. It looks like this, so if you hold it for too long, you'll know that you failed. And one of the fun ways to utilize this skill is to drop rapid attacks, reroll ferocity, rage, basically everything that gives you attack speed, so you will charge a lot faster. Still, there's little window when you end your road, so even if with fast attack speed, it's easier to hit perfect timing window instantly, but in the end you still kinda standing still, so you're vulnerable, you're exposed to damage, and attack speed is not what we want on this skill. What we want to deal a lot of damage, and therefore we will have Perfection. Perfection is great for this combination for one single reason. So what is Perfection? Whenever you hit perfect timing on this skill, you will get Perfection buff, and it will give 5% more damage per stack. So technically, we need to hit perfect timing once, we get this stack for 10 seconds, perfect timing twice, then thrice, and then fourth time, and here we are. So we got 4 stacks of Perfection, and it's 20% more damage. It may sound like not a big deal, but fun part, Perfection gives more damage for all other skills. Yeah, Perfection affects all other skills. This means you will deal more damage with Frostfall and all other stuff that you're using. And in the final reaction, we will use a lot of extra stuff on top. And basically we will use Gathering Storm only to finish down bosses, but we will build combination, rotation, and deal nice amount of damage. So, at the same time, we're adding window of opportunity, and we will shorten the window for perfect timing. It may sound like a bad idea, but actually it's not that hard. You just need to practice a little bit and you will find out that it's really easy to hit the perfect timing. As you can see, it's really hard to miss. Then every time we cast the skill, we move backwards. A little bit, by like 1-2 meters. And this actually helps with momentum. Momentum will add 40% more damage if we traveled at least 2 meters. So there's 2 ways how you can use it. You can just roll back and use your Gathering Storm. It will be 2 meters and boss will take 40% more damage, or it can be Frost Wall into Gathering Storm. Probably Frost Wall will push boss a little bit, so technically initial part of the Frost Wall is already 1 meter, you step back and technically you always deal loads and loads of damage. The next super gem he using is the one that gives more chaos damage, but I'm using the skill on Invoker, so I'm just slamming a concentrated area, why not? Easy and straightforward, just more and more damage. And last but not least, Elemental Ornament, and basically again, more and more and more and more damage, more is multiplicative, and that's it. So, now I am equipped with pretty okay equipment, not best in slot, but pretty good. And we will run tier 15 map and see how it can go. Basically, Gathering Storm can be used even for clearing, but in my experience, in my opinion, it's a little bit like boring to clear enemies with Gathering Storm. Maybe we will use it, but it's a little bit tedious when you're running on maps to always hit this perfect window for damage and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, we will need something else for clearing, and we will find out what based on how we will scale our damage later. Again, if you're interested in the full version of build, that will be kinda dumped down to maximum potential and insane amount of damage, then leave a comment and I will try to make it faster, because I'm also making some Hunter's project right now. It's insanely fun and I hope it will be insanely good, but right now it's like a little bit trash. Anyway, so that's basically clearing with the skill right now, and it's playable even on tier 15 maps, it's fine. But again, we will push clearing to just one button, we will hold one button and clear everything. For bosses, however, this combination alone will just melt, so I will add mark, and then look, it's 500 damage, not a big deal. But if I try to hit him, well, he is one-shot, it's probably like 5 million damage. Jeez. Yes, that's how it works. Okay, I'm charging Gathering Storm before boss fight, now I'm using the skill, and boom. Probably first damage is not crit, but when we crit, well, he's out. One shot, oh my goodness. Yeah, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video, and boom. Probably first damage is not crit, but when we crit, well, he's out. One shot, oh my goodness. Yeah, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video, make sure to watch other cool videos on the screen right now, and see you there. Happy New Year!